Hello, and welcome to this frigid evening here in Syracuse, New York. Today we are watching the matchup of Manly's Pebble Hill and Tully, starting off with the JV game.
Waiting on the first serve.
And Manly's Pebble Hill will have the first serve.
Beautiful serve to the center.
And that is the point for MPH. Serve is up.
Another great serve to the center. Tully looks to return.
And it's into the net. Point for MPH.
Serves up. Beautiful serve, just over the net.
Tully unable to recover. Point for MPH. It's over. Tully responds.
Just over the net.
MPH.
Gets it over the net. Return.
And that is a point for Tully, their first of the night. Serve is up. And that's another point for Tully.
Serves up. And Pig looks to respond.
Unable to get it over. Point for Tully.
Simon, I think what will come down in this game is just a matter of communication, right?
Yes. Volleyball is a sport about communication, letting people know when to go for it and if you're going for it.
And in that amount of time, Tully just got another point. Serves up.
MPH unable to respond.
Score is now 3-5, and Tully is up.
Serve is up. MPH responds and gets the point, just barely in bounds.
As we were saying before, just a matter of communication and control over the ball as well, just knowing where the ball is, where it's going to go, and setting it up for your fellow teammates to get it over the net. MPH serve.
Serve is up. And it's hit out of bounds by Tully. Point for MPH. Score is tied at 5. Serve is short. Point for Tully.
Serves up. MPH looks to respond.
3 touches and it's over. Tully looking to send it back.
set.
On the third touch, unable to get it over, point for MPH.
MPH gets ready to serve. A little mix up with who's serving, but we land on number 17 for MPH.
Serve is short, and Tully gets the point. Serve is over. And it's over. Tully looking to respond. Unable to do so, point for MPH.
Lack of control there just led to a miscommunication and loss of a point for Tully. So
Definitely. Definitely. You need to have control of the ball and be able to pass it to your teammates if you don't have the right angle to get it over the net. Ball is just barely out of bounds on the serve, and Tully gets the point. Tully serving from the corner.
serves up and is out of bounds. MPH will get that point, and we are all tied up at 8 apiece.
Service up, just barely not over the net.
However, even though it didn't get over the net, it's really where you want to serve that ball. It really needs to be like just over that net, because that's a sweet spot, because you don't quite think it's going to get over, but then it hits a perfect little window where you can get a point.
Exactly. You don't really want to send it too high, or else it's really easy to return, but you don't want to send it too low, or else, yes, it will get into the net.
Yeah. Right there, as you just saw, is a great shot over the net. It's in Tully's half as they try to respond.
Great rally from both sides there.
Well-deserved point for Tully. Serves up.
Out of bounds, point for MPH. Serves over. Tully gets it over in one hit and gets the point.
Serves up. Just over the net. MPH looks to respond.
Doesn't get it over in 3, point for Tully. Now you notice communication again, telling your teammates when it's on its third touch and when you have to get it over on that hit. Serve is out of bounds, point for MPH.
Now, Simon, what do you think is like the most effective way of getting it over the net in those 3 touches? Do you think that set has been working well so far, or do you think they should switch it up?
I definitely think just getting it set up, having control of the ball before you just wildly hit it over is the way to go. Because if you do just wildly hit it over, it can occasionally go out of bounds. And it honestly just makes it easier for the other team to send it back.
Yes, I agree. And right there is a prime example for that because unfortunately she didn't have much control over it, but it did end up going out of bounds. Now we see Tully try and their serve, and it comes up short, resulting in a point for MPH. Score is 11-13. Tully leads. MPH for the serve.
Serve is over. 3 hits, gets it over, but it's out of bounds.
Great communication there by MPH, seeing that it was clearly out of bounds and letting it go.
Serve is high.
Tully looks to return.
Gets it over, but it's out of bounds.
Once again, like we were talking about before, that control is key in this game, and having that control and seeing where you are in comparison to the out of bounds is very important.
Yep. Tully gets it over, not over, and it's a point for MPH. Serve is short, and we're tied up at 14 all. Serve is up. Into an MPH dead spot. Point for Tully.
Just like we were talking about before, just hitting that sweet spot right over the net, and that gives you a very good look if you're the offense.
Definitely. It can be. I believe it's kind of hard to aim for just the spots where nobody's at on a serve. Although if you do hit those spots, it's basically a free point. But yeah, hitting it just over the net so that the other team thinks that it's going to hit the net and not make it over. And so they call it's going to go low, but it goes over. It's kind of the spot where you want to be.
Yes, and Tully just did get that point, and I think it's more than just fooling them almost. I think it's just putting the defense in such a tough situation to respond to that and get it all set up again. So ideally you want to do it to fluster your opponent. Tully's getting ready to serve. And it's over.
Into an MPH dead zone for the point. Service up, over, and Tully gets the point. Timeout called by MPH.
Tully may have a 4-point lead over the MPH Trojans, but volleyball really is anyone's game. It just comes down to rallying and getting on the same page. Tully serve.
And it's short.
Comes up short.
Point for MPH. MPH with a serve over the net.
Beautiful serve, just over the net and right to the center of Tully's side of the court. Great serve.
As you mentioned during the timeout, volleyball can really be anyone's game, just as you mentioned. We are now almost tied back up 17-18. MPH still with the serve, and they covered those 4 points really fast.
It's just a matter of working as a team and just communicating, like we've been saying. It's largely a game of communication.
Definitely, and I should not talk about the future because it's now 17-19.
Yes, don't start jinxing teams. We're not ESPN here, but be nice to be, but we're not.
Yeah.
We're pretty good. Next up then.
Great
MPH,
serve by Tully, and MPH cannot return.
Tully just needs to get 5 more points to win this set. It's over. MPH responds. 2 hits from Tully gets it over. 3 hits from MPH sends it back.
Tully gets it over. MPH saves it. Gets
Good.
it over. Great rally from both teams. It's over again. Tully's trying to respond. It comes up short. Very well deserved point from MPH.
Definitely, that's what you need to see in terms of communication and just knowing where your teammates are and being able to recover from any potential mistouches.
And Simon, I think MPH played a lot more aggressively in that rally. Like you saw them kind of going after it a little bit more, which I think really helped them out.
Definitely, MPH played more of the offensive role in that rally.
Point for MPH off the serve.
Serves over.
Tully tries to respond and cannot. Now in the booth over here, we do have a volleyball player too. We have Maggie. Maggie, what are your thoughts over here on the game as we are tied at 20-20?
Of course, being a MPH player, I am hoping for MPH to pull in the last 5 points, possibly give it back one more time to see some more volume. We just got an amazing ace from number 10, Miss Neha Japalani, on our side, but I think the teams are both pretty evenly matched in terms of ball control and communication, and so I'm really interested to see how this will go.
Yes, indeed. And we line up again for another serve from Neha. Great serve over to Tully, and they can't get it, and MPH will get the point. 3 more to go until a set is won by MPH.
Serve is over. Tully sends it back and gets the point, 22-21. Now, Nick, what did we talk about speaking about the future?
Oh, I mean, I didn't personally say anything, but I just stated, yeah, I got you, yeah. I'm trying to be ESPN over here. I think I should apply for a job, 'cause I'm good at jinxing people. Anyways, MPH tries to return Tully's serve.
Gets it
Gets
over.
it over.
Great
Right
hit
to
from
the
Tully
center.
there. Communication from MPH, and it's over.
Tully sends it back over. MPH looks to do the same and cannot do so. Tully will get that point.
22 all.
Very, very close game as either team needs 3 points to win the set. Tully looks to respond and cannot. MPH will get that point. MPH lines up for the serve.
Gets it
Beautiful
over.
serve right to the center of Tully's court. Tully looks to respond.
The third hit looks like it's going to be
And
short, and it is
counts.
short. Point for MPH, 24-22.
Big serve here for MPH. Serves up and is short. Tully will take that point. Now, Simon, just for those viewers out there who don't know some of the rules of volleyball, you have to win by 2 in a race to 25.
Correct. So that if Tully gets this point, we will be playing to 26 and onward, as each side tries to gain an advantage from the other team.
Serves up.
Immediately
and
over.
returns by MPH. Over. MPH tries to respond, and
Gets
they
it
do
over.
so. Whistle is blown.
Double
MPH
hit from Tully.
MPH gets the point and wins the set.
Beautiful playing from both sides there. A very, very close set. And we are back after MPH wins the first set. Tully starting off serving. I am now joined by Jake in the commentary booth.
Good evening.
And Tully gets the point. First one of the set. Serve is up and over. Strong hit from Tully, and they get the point. Serve is over. A little bit more communication needed by MPH there as Tully gets the point. That's exactly not what you want to see in terms of communication. You want to know who is getting the ball at all times. Tully with another point. Short serve by Tully, and MPH gets the point. Service up and over. 3 hits gets it over. And MPH unable to respond. Point for Tully. Serve is over. MPH responds. Tully unable to send it back. Point for MPH. 1 sub coming in for MPH. Serve is up and over. Tully responds. MPH setting up. Gets it over. Miscommunication by Tully as MPH gets the point. Serve is over. 3 touches from Tully gets it over. MPH unable to respond. Point for Tully.
You know, Simon, to me it seemed like there was some miscommunication on the MPH side there, seeing as the ball went in the wrong direction.
Definitely. Although I wouldn't chalk that one up to miscommunication, more like just mistouch on the ball. Serve is short, and MPH gets their 4th point. Serve is over. Inbounds, point for MPH. Just barely inbounds on the serve there. And that's another one of the sweet spots that you do want to hit when you're serving. Although that one can be difficult to hit. Serve is over. Tully responds. MPH setting up. MPH gets it over. And a double hit from MPH gives Tully the point. And it's in the back court of Tully. MPH ready to serve. Gets it over. Tully unable to respond. A little bit of miscommunication there as MPH gets the point. Serve is over. Strong hit from MPH. Tully unable to recover. Point for MPH. Now, Jake, what's one thing that you think both teams could improve on?
I think they could improve on their communication, Simon. We've seen a lot of miscommunication throughout this game from both teams, and I think that is something they could work on.
Definitely. Communication is really a key factor in this and almost all sports is, just communicating with your teammates, knowing who is going and when.
Also mention that ball control is a thing that they can work on. Control where the ball goes and communicate with your team, and that's as close to a guarantee of victory that you can save.
Yeah. Tully hits it into an MPH dead zone. Point for Tully. All tied up at 9. Serve is up and over. And Tully sent it right back over for the point. Tully serving from the corner to the other side. MPH gets it over. Tully saves it and gets the point. Beautiful passing from Tully there.
Tully coach just said that's the craziest thing he's seen today.
And the serve goes out of bounds. Point for MPH. Serve is strong.
And out of bounds.
But there's a tip from Tully there, so MPH gets the point. Serve is short. As Tully gets the point. Serve is over, but out of bounds. Point for MPH. Serve is over. Tully responds. MPH setting up. Sends it deep.
And out of bounds.
Tipped by Tully.
Point for MPH.
Serve is just barely short. Point for Tully. Serve is over. MPH setting up. Gets the tip. Point for MPH. Serve is over and inbounds. 3 hits from Tully, gets it over. MPH setting up. Gets it over.
Tully does not get it over. Point for MPH. Need to speak up.
Serve is not over.
Short
Point
serve,
for Tully.
MPH.
Score is 15-14. MPH in the lead. Mistouch from MPH, and Tully gets the ace. Serve is over, and Tully gets another ace.
Tully is back in the lead now. See if this holds.
MPH unable to get it over. Point for Tully. Another point for Tully. The 18th of the set.
Simon, how do you interpret what we're seeing from MPH in these past few serves?
I could not hear you because what was that again?
How do you interpret what we've seen from MPH over the past 2 serves?
I don't know. I feel like there's just a lot to be said about communication, as per usual. But there's also expecting where they've hit it over the past couple serves and being ready to respond to that area.
Thank you, Simon. We're currently in a timeout for the next 30 seconds. We'll be back shortly.
A lot of it, if you guys want something warm to say, I'm going to put this in my cup.
We're back from timeout. Tully is serving.
Serve is over. MPH setting up, gets it over. Mistouch from Tully, and MPH gets their 16th point. Two subs coming in for MPH. Serve is over. Tully unable to respond. Point for MPH. Serve is over. Tully setting up and gets the point. Score is 17-19 now. The scoreline looks a little bit familiar from last set. Serve is over. MPH responds, but it goes out of bounds. Point for Tully. Their 20th point of this set. Now, they only need 5 more points to win this set. Serve is over. MPH unable to respond. Score 17-21. And Tully gets his 22nd point. Serve is over.
MPH unable to get it over. Tully with a point. 23 points. 2 more points for Tully, and they win the set.
Serve is over.
MPH gets it over.
Tully responds. MPH setting up. Unable to get it back over. 17-24.
This could be it for the set, as Tully gets his 25th point. Not yet, though.
At this point, MPH needs to go on a 8-point streak to be able to get the advantage.
MPH gets it over. That's for Tully. MPH unable to get it over. That's 25 points for Tully, winning the set. They're now tied 1-1.
And welcome back to the third set. Just as a reminder, JV goes to a best out of 3, and they play all 3 sets all the time, although that doesn't apply here. So whoever wins this set wins the game. Serve is short, point for MPH.
Serves up. Tully looks to return. Oh!
Miscommunication leads to a collision on the Tully half, point for MPH.
MPH, ready to serve. Serve is up. Tully looks to return. Great set. And is over. MPH looks to do the same. They get over. It's a great rally so far.
And the ball.
Miscommunication. Point for MPH on that.
Now, I think Tully on that play dropped the ball in the communication there.
Yes, I would agree. Up.
Serve is over. Tully responds. And that is a double hit from MPH, point for Tully.
Sometimes it's really tough in the midst of kind of returning a serve to sometimes accidents just happen and you double hit. Tully looks to serve.
Serve is short, point for MPH. One sub coming in for MPH.
Serves up.
Tully setting up. Gets it over. And that is a carry from MPH, point for Tully.
Even though there was a carry there, I think that was still a great effort on both sides of getting the ball over the net and communicating with each other.
Definitely, both sides have been playing really well this game, as the ball shoots directly into the net off the serve, point for MPH. And that is a line violation on the serve, point for Tully.
And that's, again, speaking to the self-awareness that we've been talking about, just being aware of your surroundings and being aware of where you are on the court.
Definitely. Tully sends the serve over. MPH responds immediately. The diving save from Tully does not work, point for MPH.
However, props on that save right there. That was a beauty.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that your teammates were not there to help you out. It's also a lesson in not giving up hope.
Yes. Great serve, and Tully looks to return, and they do so. Gets just over the net, and MPH will get that point. It is 6-7-2-3. MPH leads.
Tully has been pulling out all the epic saves today as they try to get it over the net.
Serves up. Tully has control of the ball.
And it's over. MPH, miraculous save, and it's over. And Tully hits it short, point for MPH. Score is now 8-3.
Even though they didn't get that point right there, Tully has had some amazing spikes today.
Definitely. Tully has really shown what they can do if they have time to set up the ball. And that is a double hit from Tully, point for MPH.
Serves up.
Deep. Tully trying to set up. Unable to do so.
Oh.
Point for MPH.
And that was just spacing right there. I mean, they had the ability to get it over, but the ball just seemed to be in the wrong spot, and it would lead right to the net. It's a very tough position to put.
Yeah. And props to Neha for hitting it that deep on the serve. Like, it can be risky getting enough power to go back there.
Oh my goodness, did that stay in? It did.
And that is a point for Tully.
Tully went out of bounds. The ball went straight up and somehow got in play, and it was a very tough shot for MPH to return. So kudos to Tully on that play.
Serve is over. Miscommunication from MPH there as Tully gets the ace.
Now, Simon, I find this very interesting, and there's multiple levels of volleyball, and spiking and like professional, it can be almost a disadvantage because that can lead to the other team setting it up and getting a point. However, here in high school, I think it's very much an advantage because you get to place the ball where you want and force the other team to make some big decisions.
Definitely. Spiking is a huge part of volleyball. It can be a little risky on the professional level, but in high school, having that downwards power makes it hard for the other team to keep it up. I believe that was a carry from MPH there as Tully gets the point. Serve is over. MPH setting up.
Great set.
Unable to get it over. Point for Tully.
Now, it has to have seemed pretty obvious at this point, but just to reiterate, setting the ball up for your teammates is very, very crucial in this game and in any game, really, no matter what kind of what level it is. And a good set can lead to a very good play and to ultimately more points too.
Tully with an ace there. Serve is just barely over, and it's out of bounds. Point for Tully.
Now, Simon, I want to highlight something because Tully has done a fantastic job of it so far, the hustle that they've had. And how important do you think that hustle and that kind of mentality is to a game like this?
It is really important knowing, basically, timeout by MPH, by the way. But having that hustle allows you to surprise the other team by hitting it from quote-unquote unreachable areas and into their playable zone, as we saw in that play before.
And I think it's just great for morale too, because you've seen like Tully has somehow saved these insane shots, and that's lead to a great boost in morale, which would lead to multiple points, as we see right here, because MPH was up by quite a few points, and now it's a 1-point game.
Yeah, and as we mentioned before, volleyball is just anyone's game all the time. Like, you can go on a streak of like 9 points or 10. And so it can just be anyone's game throughout the entire game. And so you have to constantly be on your toes. And the game is not over until it's over.
Yes, indeed. Tully lines up for the serve.
Serve is over. Mistouch from MPH. Tully ties it up at 10.
Now, as far as serves go, I think both teams have done a very good job of serving, but I really think that for MPH, when they get the ball in the serving position, I think they really accumulate most of their points there. I think that's really one of our strong suits.
Definitely.
Serve is over. MPH looks to return. They do so. It is in Tully's half of the court. Gets over and can't be returned by MPH. It is a tie ball game. Oh, I'm sorry. It is Tully is leading by 1, 11 to 10.
MPH saves the ball from going out of bounds. And Tully hits it into the back corner. Point for Tully.
Wow, that was a very close call, but again, great communication on both sides and great hustle by Tully by saving that shot.
Definitely. And there has to be something said, again, about MPH's communication there. Everyone on the team was calling that the ball was out, and they still hit it, which is honestly just a judgment call at that point, knowing like when you think it's going to, whether you think it's going to be in or out, and whether you trust your teammates fully. Tully serves it into dead zone. Service over. Mistouch from MPH, and Tully gets another point.
Again, that sense of control comes into play, and not only control over, oh, that is a timeout, I believe, by MPH.
Another timeout by MPH there.
And just the control of even your grip in your hands and how you're going to hit the ball, that just comes, it's a big factor when you get into the very nitty-gritty points here towards the middle and the end of the game, or period, I should say.
Definitely. And a lot of missed touches in this game can be just held up to bad form in terms of hitting the ball. Like if you have one hand like slightly on top of the other, or you hit that like edge there, it will just go wild and you won't be able to have any control afterwards.
And that being said, too, it's a very difficult thing to be so consistent each and every time. So it just comes down to who has it in a given night.
As we come back from this timeout, the score is 10-14, Tully in the lead. Serve is short, point for MPH.
Now it's time for MPH to really take advantage of having the serve and accumulating as many points as they possibly can in this stretch.
Definitely. While volleyball is a game about each individual rally, it also comes down to the streak of points that you can get in a row and get some momentum going for your team.
Whoa, that was a bullet right across.
Strong serve from MPH there, gains them their point.
Fantastic serve by MPH.
One thing that I've observed as the ball goes out of bounds, one thing that I've observed from watching volleyball is that having the serve puts your team at an extreme advantage because you can, as we saw on the two rallies before, if you can nail it really hard and get it into a sweet spot, you will just get a point and they won't be able to return it.
Tully lines up the serve.
It's over. MPH responds immediately into a Tully dead zone, point for MPH.
Once again, just having that offensive right there, being more aggressive, I think really does afford MPH some more points. It's like, there's definitely something to be said about setting it up and taking your time, but it's also getting it across is just as important. Tully tries to return that serve.
Gets it over. Tully setting up. And the ball is hit out of bounds. Point for MPH.
There again with that spike, the spikes are very much a risk-reward factor right there. You can either hit it too hard and go out of bounds, or you can really get some points off of it. So it's definitely a risk-reward.
Serve is over. Tully looking to setting up for the spike. Just barely over, and the change in trajectory trips MPH up as Tully gets the point. And those are really hard to save, where it just barely gets over the net, changes the trajectory so you can't read it beforehand. Serve is not over the net, point for MPH. Serve is over.
Tully rallies and get a fantastic save once again.
And Tully unable to respond, and it's tied up at 16 all. A great rally from both sides there.
And truly a great game, too. Very even, 1 set to 1 set, and a tie game for the winning set.
Definitely. Both sets have been really close in score. And that just shows you how evenly matched both of these teams are. MPH unable to get it over in 3. Point for Tully.
Tully looks to expand their lead.
Strong serve from Tully there. Gets them another point. Serve is short, and it's another 17 to 18 situation.
MPH gets ready to take the serve.
Serve is over. Tully setting up. It's over in 3. MPH unable to respond. And we're back to 17 to 19. This has happened in all 3 sets, following the same pattern. Different ways of getting here, but they've all ended up 17 to 18, then to 19.
I think once you turn to the 20s, that's really where the momentum changes. So it's really important for MPH to get these next couple of points.
Definitely. We saw last set Tully going on from this point to win the set, keeping MPH at 17. Although that won't happen this set as MPH gains their 18th point.
So here we really want to see at least 1 point come from MPH to keep it interesting. Again, because that momentum just changes so quickly.
Yep. Serve is over. Sliding save from Tully. Hit deep and it's inbound. 20th point for Tully.
Man, that was a very close call. Even I thought that was out.
Yeah, that's just all, again, about risk and reward on that.
Serve is up.
MPH unable to respond. 18 to 21. Tully in the lead.
Very, very good serve right there. Just over the net and right into a dead zone. And MPH is defense. Excuse me.
Serve is over. MPH setting up, unable to do so. 18 to 22.
I think now it's really important for MPH to kind of regroup and gather themselves because they've, in the past couple of points, have not been in the right spot. So they really need to kind of regroup and return this and get some points.
Definitely. MPH needs to regain momentum, and this may be how they get it as Tully misses the serve. And really, once MPH gets up to 20 points, that is kind of where the mentality changes, knowing you're only 5 points from the finish line.
Yeah, gives a very good serve to the Tully half and gets the point. We have a ball game, ladies and gentlemen.
Definitely, and hopefully we see MPH's mentality change here as they get their 20th point.
All MPH should be focused on right now is just getting the serve over to a difficult spot on Tully's half.
Yeah, and just getting the serve over in general. We've seen many different streaks from Tully getting lost because the serve doesn't get over. MPH unable to respond, 20 to 23.
Right here, they need to be very, very defensive as Tully is only 2 points away from claiming this set and the game.
Number 7 on Tully coming in to serve. Serve is over. MPH looking to set up. MPH gets it back over.
Tully looks to return. They do so.
A little bit of miscommunication there as Tully gets their 24th point. It's now game point for Tully. Serve is over. MPH unable to respond. Tully wins 20-25. That is the second set that they have won, and they have won the game.
Great job by Tully. And stay tuned for the varsity game coming up in just a couple minutes.
Nice job, Tully.
Welcome everyone to the varsity matchup between MPH and Tully. Before we get this game started, just a reminder, the score of the JV game, MPH 1, Tully 2. MPH working to get the antennas set up. Both teams are now on the court.
Let's go, Tully.
The refs are checking each team's rotations and making sure that everyone is in the correct position. Tully gets the first serve. Service up and over. Tipped by MPH. Point for Tully. Start off the game with an ace from Tully. Service over. MPH setting up. Gets it over, block. Sends it back over. Point for Tully. A carry from MPH. Service over. MPH unable to respond. Another point for Tully. Service over. Another point for Tully. Service over. MPH unable to set it up. Another point for Tully. Another ace for Tully. MPH gets a response back, and Tully unable to save it. Point for MPH, their first of the game. Service strong. Out of bounds. Point for Tully. Just barely out of bounds. Service over. Spike from Tully, and they get the point.
Keep it up, girls.
And a timeout is called by MPH. Tully with the serve. Serve is over. Tipped by MPH. Point for Tully. Tully has shown how strong they are on their serve this game, as most of their points have come from aces, not allowing MPH to return the ball. And Tully gets the point. Serve is over. MPH just barely gets it over the net. Tully responds. And Tully gets the point. A little bit of miscommunication there from MPH as the player. As there was no call whether the ball was in or out. Serve is strong and over. MPH unable to respond. Point for Tully. Again, we see another ace from Tully there. And that seems where they get all their strength from. Or a lot of it is from their serves. Serves over. MPH responds. A spike from Tully gives them the point. While aces are the main cause of Tully's points, as we just saw, it's not the only thing. They have shown their ability to respond after MPH gets it back over. Although that serve goes a little too far and MPH gets their second point of the night. Serve is over, strong. Tully gets it over, tipped by MPH, and the point goes to Tully. The libretto for Tully coming out. Serve is over. And the serve is just barely inbounds. Point for Tully. The score is 2-15. Tully in the lead. Serve is over. MPH unable to respond. 2-16. Right now, this game is looking like it's going to be very short as Tully gets their 17th point. Another timeout is called by MPH. The thing with varsity is that it's a best out of 5, and so getting the first set, well, yes, you do put your team on a momentum swing. You got to get 3 more after that, and a lot can happen during those 3 sets. You got to win 2 more after that, and yeah, a lot can happen during those 2 sets. And momentum can change at any time. Teams can get better during the 3-minute break in between sets. Serve is over. 3 hits from MPH, gets it over. Tully looking to respond. Gets it back. MPH setting up. Gets it deep. Tully setting up again. MPH setting up. Great rally from both sides here. And Tully gets the point. A great rally from both sides there, but MPH unable to get the offensive. Service over and out of bounds. Point for MPH, the third of the night. A strong hit from Tully gains them the point. Service over. Tully responds. Point for Tully as they get it over the net. Score is now 3-20. MPH unable to maintain their serve after one serve. MPH gets the point after the serve is short from Tully. Now what MPH is looking for here is getting a longer streak of serves going. Serve is over, deep. Tully setting up. It's over. And just barely inbounds, point for Tully. Another 1-point streak for MPH. Tully really showing that they are an all-around team here, being able to serve the ball and return it. Strong serve. MPH responds, but it goes out of bounds. Point for Tully. Mistouch from MPH, and the score is now 4-23. Serve is over. Strong. MPH setting up. Unable to get it over in 3. Point for Tully. Again, it comes down to communication. I did not hear MPH calling that it was the third touch. Although you can count it, it is hard to tell in the moment how many have happened. Set point for Tully. The serve is over, and they get the point, and Tully takes the first set. Score is now 4-25 as we head into a 3-minute break. That was the very first set. As we head into our second, MPH looking to gain the upper hand.
Just to get back in the ball game, you know.
Definitely. I'm joined by Nick again.
Hi everybody, and let's hope to see MPH just try to get back in this ball game. It was a quick set, and you know, first sets can be like that. So let's see what they can produce in this next set and see what happens.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, a lot can happen in the remaining 2 sets that Tully needs to win. A lot of momentum shifts can happen.
MPH will have the serve first.
More specifically, Kate, who in past games has shown to be one of MPH's best servers. Short served from Kate as Tully gets their first point of the set.
You know, I mean, there weren't a lot of serves last set, so that's just kind of warming up.
Yeah.
I would imagine. Serves up, and MPH cannot return the serve. As we've seen, Tully has a very, very good lineup of servers here. Serves up and over. MPH can't quite return, and Tully will get the point.
Yeah, Tully has shown in the first set that they are a very well-rounded team. Even though MPH got 4 points, which is not a lot, they still have shown that they are able to return the ball even after MPH sends it back over and when they have the serve.
And they have done a great job of returning it, but I think Tully is just showing that the best defense is a fantastic offense, and that is what they've done because they've just put MPH in a place where they can't return it.
Yeah, if you're getting aces every single serve, it's going to be a very fast game. Like, if you know how to serve and if you know how to get it into the right spots, it's going to get really easy, but it's going to get difficult when the other team gets to serve and gets a rally going. But Tully has shown that they are an all-around team.
And wow, MPH does manage to control it. They do set it up, and they do get it over, but it's out of bounds. And the thing that just amazes me is just the range and the control that Tully has, because every serve is just perfectly placed and in the parameters, and it's been very close calls, but they've had it in each time. Tully for the serve. And it comes up short. First of very few from Tully.
Definitely. We've seen in both sets how Tully has had short serves, but they're able to regain the serve really quickly. And that just comes down to being a really good all-around team.
It's up. The ball is over. Abigail saved it. And it's set. And it's over. Tully will try to return it now as they set it up. And they are short.
MPH getting their first multi-point streak of this game, which is how momentum shift.
And I think if they keep this up, I think they can really start seeing some results. Great serve from MPH. Now to return from Tully. How will they get it there? It's over. Abigail saves it. It's up. And it's over. And that would be another point for MPH.
The ball just barely going over the net, but also the double whammy, it just barely lands in bounds. MPH looking to serve. It's over. Tully looking to set up. Gets ready for the spike, and it's just barely over the net. Point for Tully.
I mean, on top of serves, Tully just has an amazing set of spikers, too. I mean, the sheer power behind that spike was just amazing.
Serve is short. And as we said before, Tully has shown with like almost every single hit that goes over the net, it is strong. It is powerful. It is almost always like not in an arc, and it's almost in a straight line every single time, making it really difficult for MPH to return it.
MPH looks to serve. And the other thing, and Tully does get that point. The other thing with Tully's spikes and serves is that it's one thing to be very powerful, but they're also very precise, and that's also paid off. Over the net. Abigail saves it. It's up, and it's over the net. Tully looks to return it. Over the net. MPH returns. It's over the net. Tully sets it up. It's over. Saved by MPH. It's up again. MPH manages to get it over. Tully has it up, sets over, and gets the point.
A great rally from both sides there, but it seems, as per usual, Tully maintained the offensive on it. There was not much offense and aggressive attacks to be had by MPH during that rally. Service over. MPH unable to get it over in 3 touches. Point for Tully. The score is now 3-10.
No matter what, Tully just seems to have the offensive, no matter what the circumstances are. They just keep coming at MPH, and that's proven to be a very difficult kind of play. MPH just can't seem to counteract.
MPH gets it back over. And now it really seems like MPH has kind of gotten into the offensive, and they hit it into a Tully dead zone. Point for MPH, their 5th of this set.
I don't think it was. I think it was a Tully. I know they didn't. He pointed to Tully.
He pointed to the out of the inbounds line, I believe. Like, inbounds.
Okay.
They hit something. Tully sends it back. MPH sends it back immediately. MPH looking to set up. A tip over the net. And MPH unable to save it on the dive. The score is now 5-11.
And that's exactly what we mean there, folks. Tully just saved that shot from all the way beyond the back line. And they managed to get it over and maneuver in a very efficient way. So
Service short. MPH has shown that they do have a little bit more momentum this series, as they now have 2 more points than they had last time, while Tully still has 11. Serve is over. Tully responds. A tip from MPH, and they're unable to get it over. Point for Tully.
And I hate to say it again. I know everyone who's been listening so far has heard it so many times, but the communication on Tully's half of the court has just been amazing, and I think that's part of why they've been so successful.
A short serve from Tully gets it over the net, and a point. Serve is over. MPH setting up. Gets it over. A tip from Tully, and they're able to respond. The
You
communication
gotta be kidding me.
is impeccable. And Tully with a diving save, but it goes out of bounds. Point for MPH.
And even though that was a point for MPH, it was still close.
Yeah, and you mentioned during the JV game, having that hustle really helps.
It's amazing.
Like, even though Tully got that point, I feel like they still have a lot of morale, and they still have that momentum.
MPH got the point, but yes.
Yeah, even though MPH got the point. Serve is over. Tully gets the point as MPH is unable to get it over.
So Simon, it's been a very one-sided game so far. What do you think MPH really needs to do to kind of switch the tides here.
I think. Serve just barely over. Tully gets another point. But in terms of your question, I feel like just getting 1 point and getting a streak going, getting that streak going and being able to maintain it is a crucial point to this. And being able to respond to Tully. MPH able to get it over in 3. Score is now 7-16. I also think it's a question about keeping your morale up. Deep serve from Tully does not pay off, and MPH gets their 8th point.
I think one of the biggest things MPH needs to do right now is just get that kind of fighting mentality. Like, you gotta want this. And I think that's the biggest factor, like that hustle, that want for this point. I think that's what's gonna get it going.
And MPH has really shown progress towards their comeback as they now have over double the amount of points they had last set, which is a really good sign that they are getting back into it and warming up and being ready. Strong serve from Kate goes out of bounds, point for Tully.
Strong serve, and to be honest, that was just fantastic communication because that was close, and if they didn't call it, then that would have been possibly a point.
Service up and over. Tipped by MPH, and Tully gets the point. Timeout called by MPH.
Now, Simon, we've been preaching communication and telling that that's the biggest factor, but in reality, I think it's really tough when you're in that situation. When the ball's coming at you, it's really tough to really think on your feet that quickly. And I think that's what Tully's put them in, that situation of having to think quickly and be a little rash, and that's when they end up just having those missed touches.
Definitely, and having the speed at which Tully hits the ball at MPH's side has really left them scrambling, trying to get a good touch to be able to set it up and get it back over. But when you do get it back, when you do get that set up and you do get it over, you see those long rallies between both sides, neither side giving up. But in the end, it always seems like Tully is on the offensive.
Tully serve coming out of the timeout. MPH returns, or looking to return, excuse me. Gets it over. Tully has controlled the ball. Set it up. Fantastic spike! And MPH touches the ball and out of bounds. Tully gets the point. 19-9. Tully is up.
And just like I mentioned, when you see MPH respond, you get these longer rallies and neither side giving up. But in the end, yeah, Tully always ends up on the offensive and getting the point. Serve is up and over. Just barely. MPH with the diving save gets it back. MPH a little rush to get it over, and that is a carry which will lead to Tully getting the point.
But fantastic hustle by Abigail on that play.
It's over. MPH with the setup, getting used to this strength at which Tully plays, and being able to set it up, not quite successfully getting it over the net, but getting towards it.
Fantastic save by Tully right there. And MP just can't respond each time it just seems like their offense is scrambling and it's not quite organized the way they want it to be. And I think as soon as they do get that organization back, it could be a closer ball game.
Serve is over. MPH trying to set up miscommunication, and Tully is up 9-23.
So it only needs 2 more points to close out this set and take a very defining lead.
Strong serve. Wild touch from MPH, and Tully has set point here.
Now, Simon, I think it's just this is what we're talking about. The body language just kind of looks defeated over on MPH's side, but I think if they can rally a little bit, they can come back.
And another thing that I noticed is that when they do get those hard to save balls, as Tully wins the set, I just noticed that like when Tully gets those diving saves, it's almost like MPH doesn't expect them to get it over.
Yes, and I think going forward they just need to keep rallying and keep trying to fight back to get another set.
We head into a 3-minute break now as both teams prepare for the third set. I'm not behind on my phone, but yeah. So we head into the third set. Tully has won 2, MPH has none. And in all the sets so far, MPH has not been able to get over 10 points, not even breaching 10. So at this point, MPH is looking to get higher than they have before and just getting more streaks going and being able to respond to Tully's strength.
As uncharacteristic as it is for MPH not to have as many points, it really is tough to return those serves that Tully keeps on berating them with. Not to mention those spikes too, and just the overall communication. Because each time, you think, I mean, even they would lose the point. They're behind the line and they somehow manage to get it perfectly over the net and get that point. So let's see what they do in the third set here.
Definitely, and MPH is going to win this game. They definitely have a long journey ahead of them. Another strong serve from Tully. MPH responds. Tully setting up. Responds. And it's hit out of bounds by MPH. Point for Tully.
Even though MPH lost that point, you can start to see that there's a little more offense coming from the MPH side of the court, which I think will really play a factor in this next set.
Definitely, we need to see MPH getting more of that offensive mentality there and starting to gain some confidence against Tully's hard strikes.
That was a second point for Tully this day.
Serve is over. Tipped by MPH. Point for Tully. What could have been a serve that goes out of bounds is tipped by MPH. And that possibly could have been avoided by communication, but that's just a judgment call at that point.
Beautiful serve from Tully as MPH responds. Tully looks to set. They get it over. Will MPH return it? They have one hit, two hit, over. Tully has their second hit. Looking to see the third. They get it over as well. MPH is in control. And they get it over the net. And it's out of bounds, unfortunately. Tully will get that point. 4-0.
Definitely, and I feel like what we've seen a lot from the MPH side is they're not really concentrated to one part of the court. They're bouncing back and forth. And that has ultimately led them to having wild shots that go out of bounds. MPH responds to Tully's serve. We've seen a lot more of MPH responding this set, but they haven't been unable to get it inbounds. A mistouch from Tully as MPH gets their first point of the set.
And there's that offense we've been waiting to see from MPH. Now let's just hope it's not too late for these changes to have been made. But if they keep trending at this rate, then they might have a chance of turning the tides of this match.
Kate with a strong serve, diving save, and the ball goes out of bounds. Point for MPH.
There was some communication there, but it was funny for not just us, but the team too.
Strong serve. Tully setting up. And MPH unable to respond. Tully gets the point. Great hustle there from Kate, but it's not enough.
And there it is again, guys. I mean, just that organization, just that routine. Like they got a hard serve, but they just popped it up, set it. And they just regrouped. And as I said that, they just got the serve, and Tully will get that point. But it's all about that routine, that organization. And I think that's another reason why Tully is doing so well.
Another ace from Tully. MPH concentrated more to one area here. And a short hit from Tully makes the score 3-6. Tully in the lead.
Now, Simon, I know we've talked a lot about the serving and the spiking, but what do you think about the closer to the net? Like, what do you think about that game so far?
I feel like the closer to the net you are, it's definitely harder to get over the net naturally just because you're closer to the net. But it also kind of limits you on space as well, and you're kind of like struggling to like find the space to pass it and then get it over.
And the blocks alone from Tully as well have been very good. And just on the MPH side of things too, they've also managed around the net very well. It's just a matter of that precision about where you're going to hit.
Long serve from Tully, and MPH gets the point. This set is looking a lot closer than the previous two as MPH starts to get their stride in this game.
strong serve, and it catches Tully off guard a little bit, and MPH will get that point. It is now 5-7. Tully is up by 2.
That's exactly what you want to see. Is you want to have that placement, but you also want to have that speed to not give them time to react and not be able to tell whether it's going to be in or out. High serve. Easy for Tully to set up. Strong spike gives them the point and the serve back.
I mean, Simon, the sheer height she got on that jump was alone, and that angle that she got was just amazing and
Yeah,
very strong shot.
that's basically unreturnable there. Just that angle. Serve is over. MPH setting up, light touch over. Tully now setting up for a spike. This can be dangerous. MPH able to keep it up and get it over. Tully again setting up for a spike. And it's into the net. Point for MPH.
Now, Simon, I really think that around the net, MPH has done a very solid job. It's just kind of towards the middle and that communication towards the back that I think has been the biggest sticking point. But otherwise, around the net, it's just those light touches over those blocks that Tully is very good with. I think that's been very solid, so let's hope they keep that up.
Serve is just barely over. Mistouch from Tully, and the score is 7-8. Missed serve from MPH, and Tully gets the point. Serve is over. Mistouch from MPH, and Tully gets their 10th point.
Now, I think it's crucial here because this is where we start to see Tully expand that lead, so it's really important that MPH kind of gets this under control before it gets away from them.
Definitely, if MPH can maintain this score gap here, they do have a chance to win this set. And it also really depends on maintaining the offense as Tully gets the 11th point of the set.
Beautiful touch there by Tully. She got in position, she touched it right over the defense.
Serve is over, low. MPH setting up, just barely over the net, but Tully manages to get the point, get the hit. Still going. And it's just barely in bounds. Point for Tully.
I gotta say, Simon, there's been a number of very close calls this game, and even up here we can't even really tell.
Definitely. For a lot of these, I'm looking at the refs to see which way they motion. And that just tells you how close a lot of these balls are landing close to the line. Both teams looking to set it up. MPH unable to get it over. Point for Tully. Timeout called. Now, Nick, what do you think MPH is talking about during this timeout? What are they trying to focus on?
I think it's just organization, plain and simple, because they've been able to stop a lot of those serves, but it's just been a matter of getting the ball under control and getting it back over the net in like a very effective manner, not just getting it over the net, plain and simple. So I think Coach Chuck is really talking about just being organized, staying calm, and just communicating. It's been the biggest theme of this game, and I think if they start doing that, they're going to be a lot more successful.
Definitely. I feel like organization, but the power that Tully brings with their serves really has led MPH to basically go from corner to corner on their court after each serve, making it really hard to... Little confusion. as there's a sub for Tully. Yeah, and Tully's the hardness of their serve has really led MPH to be all over the place on the court. Strong serve, but it goes out of bounds, point for MPH.
And there we go. There's the first example of that communication. I think Coach Tuck is kind of saying good job too, because that was a big point, and that can be the start of a turnaround right here.
Short serve from MPH. Tully gets the point. We now have a score gap of 6 in between MPH and Tully. Still one of the smallest numbers we've seen all night. MPH still looking to get back into that momentum swing. Great rally from both sides. Tully looking to respond, doesn't have time to set up. And that is a point for MPH as Tully does not get it over after the tap-to-tap battle on the net.
And that's just a very, that's almost an impossible position too, right there. So.
The ball is definitely harder to read when you get into those battles where it's tap for tap between each team. And that is a double hit from Tully, and MPH breaches the 10 barrier for the first time tonight.
Now we could really start seeing a momentum change here. As Maggie hits it over the net, and Tully returns.
And it's out of bounds. Point for MPH. Tully thinking that they got the point there, but in reality, it was just barely out of bounds. Serve is over. MPH setting up. MPH setting up for a spike. Hits it deep.
Great rally.
A tip. MPH gets it back. A great save from MPH there. This is a great rally from both sides, going on for a while.
Something's got to give here soon, folks. Both teams are giving it their all. What will play? Oh my God, Tully just gets the point, but that was a fantastic volley or rally from each side.
And all comes down to that one missed touch from MPH there, leading it to go into the net. Serve is just barely over. MPH setting up. Gets it over. And it's inbound. Point for MPH. Scores now 12-15.
And Simon, that's like what I was saying before. I think now that they're starting to get organized and starting to kind of play together more and talk, I think they're really starting to make a difference.
Kate serving from really far back, just barely out of bounds. Point for Tully. You can't really let these off serves lower your morale. You got to keep going. Just keep trying and trying to get that swing back in your favor.
That being said as well, though, you really want to make sure you capitalize on those serves, because those are what's going to get you the most points right now.
A block from Mary sends the ball out of bounds for a point for Tully. Serve is over. MPH with a tip over. And that is a point for Tully as Kate was over the net. Strong serve. MPH setting up. Gets it over deep. Tully setting up. And they hit it out of bounds. And you just saw a little bit of what we've seen on MPH's side from Tully there as they were going from one out of bounds side to the other, not really having much control over the ball. 3 hits from Tully, sends it over. And the spike from MPH gets them the point.
As MPH closes a little bit of a gap there from Tully, we could see a closer set than we have bargained for a couple minutes ago.
Serve is strong and deep. A little bit of miscommunication from Tully there. MPH now has 15 to Tully's 18.
Now let's see if MPH can keep this amazing morale going, because they seem to be using it in the violin, which just looks good too. Serve is up. Tully returns. Touch over. MPH can't get it back over, and Tully will get that point.
Serve is over. Strong serve, Tully gets the point. It's now 15 to 20. And I feel like this, as with all sports, a lot of it is just about having fun and just being able to enjoy the moments that you have on the court and playing.
Exactly what I was going to say, Simon. And I think at this point, you just got to let go. I mean, you're down a couple of sets, and yes, that stinks, but you got to let yourself be free of that pressure and just have fun. And I think once you start having fun, everything starts to come back more. And I think they might even see a little bit of a change here, but it's a 6-point differential right here, and it is 15 to 21. Tully is up, only needing 4 more points to gain the set and the win.
Definitely. And I feel like if you start to have fun, you can perform better in general. Just because you're having fun, and that mentality is a huge factor in playing any type of sport. Both teams back on the court. Tully looking to finish it out. MPH looking to have fun and get some more points. Serve is strong and over. MPH struggling to respond, and Tully gets their 22nd point. Serve is over. MPH setting up. Gets it over. Tully looking to respond. And the strong hit from Tully. And a tip from MPH gives the point to Tully.
Wow. And I mean, I didn't even see that, to be honest. Like, that call honestly caught me by surprise, but I guess he did tip it, so close calls.
Yeah, and you could see all the Tully players calling to the rest that there was a touch there. And clearly the rest saw it too, because it was called and Tully got the point. Short serve, though, and MPH gets a point. Serve is over. Tully looking to set up. A missed touch for MPH, and it's game point for Tully. One sub coming in for MPH. Serve is over. MPH looking to set up. Gets it over. Tully looking to set up. And Tully gets the point. winning the set and the game. The final score of the last set, 16-25, and the score of the game, 0-3. Thank you all for watching, and good night.